Salam. Good morning. This is Mohammed Moin Rehman from ITN News, Islamic Television Network. Muslims who are listening, the students who are listening, in the campuses, the protesters who are listening, common civilians who are listening, I will tell you a story. There was a man who was sick, probably in his deathbed. One day he called his son and gave him his watch. And he said, "Son, this is 200 years old. It was given to me by my father, your grandfather. I want you to go to the town's watch shop and see what you can get for it." Son was a good son. He took the watch and he went to the shop. The shop guy offered him $150. Said it's old. So the son came back to the father and said, "Dad, he offered $150 for it." So the father said, "Son, go to the local pawn shop." So the son was a good son, obeyed his father, went to the pawn shop. The pawn shop offered him $10. The son came back, told his father that, "Dad, he offered $10. He said it's very old. It doesn't seem to have any value. I will have a tough time selling it, so $10. Father said, "Son, take this watch and go to the museum and meet the curator at the museum and see what he says." So the son took the watch to the museum. He met the curator who offered him $500,000. And he said, "I'm going to put this old watch with all the other priceless old antique things we have." So son came back very happy, told the father that, "Dad, I was offered $500,000 for it." So the moral of the story which the father told the son was, all I wanted you to learn from all this was not to sell the watch, was to understand the value, your value, the value of things in life. Because there is a time and place where your value will be judged. This is your time. 2024 is the time, not only in the world, but especially in North America, United States, Canada, where you need to make sure that you're judged by your value. You will be judged by how you treat your Jewish brothers, by how you treat the Christians, or any people of any faith. You cannot treat them by pelting stones or fighting with the police or taking over buildings. Your value will be judged on November 4th, 2024, 2028, 2032, 2036, and so onwards. Make your vote count. Make your vote count. Show it to both the networks, these Jesse Waters, this Gutfeld, all of them, Sean Hannity, Wolf Blitzer, Jake Tapper. Show to them, Brett Baier, that it was the Muslim vote that makes the difference. Vote for Donald J. Trump, irrespective of what the Republicans say about you. The idea is to show Joe Biden that what you did was wrong and we will vote against you. And even if Satan is standing next to you, we will vote for him and he will win by our votes. And if this side who wins doesn't appreciate you, then we will vote for the other guy in 2028. And we'll keep doing it till we are recognized. Just as the blacks are recognized, just as the Latinos are recognized. We have to show to the world that our votes matter. And when you do that, and you change the structure of power in the United States, and your kids study, become something, and go to Congress, go to the House of Representatives, the balance changes. Whether it takes 30 years, it should be a 30-year mission. Keep 30 years in front of you. The focal point is 30 years, 8 election cycles, 32 years. And I can assure you, you will be recognized. You will be given the respect that you deserve as a nation, as a population, but your deeds will get you there. Not acts of violence. You don't want to fight a war. You are allowed to fight a war. But first get into that position to fight in a defensive manner where a bullet can be replied with a bullet. A guided missile can be replied by a guided missile. Not a stupid Katyusha rocket that's going to harm a civilian. Men of honor do not fight civilians. The civilian on the other side, whether in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, who is Jewish, his kids bleed the same as your kids do. You don't want to hurt him. You want to win him. That is how Islam was spread. That is what Prophet Muhammad spread Islam by. There is a story that goes with Prophet Muhammad. He used to walk out every morning after taking a bath or shower or whatever he did. And this woman she waited and she threw the garbage over him. He used to go back, change his clothes, rewash, and then go back to his work or mosque, wherever he wanted to go. One day, the woman was compelled to ask Prophet Muhammad why he never retaliated. He just smiled back. The woman converted to Islam. She accepted Prophet Muhammad as the last prophet and the Quran as the last book. Proper attitude reflects a proper reaction. Remember that. We, as Muslims, need to become students, PhDs, scientists, attorneys, doctors, en masse, not one or two. Because if you're just a few, you're singled out. I'll tell you another story. Because it's not like Muslims lack vision or are not capable of getting good education. Pakistan, a poor country, a corrupt country, unfortunately, managed to develop the atomic and nuclear facilities. I think they're the number 3 or number 4 in the world today because they're capable. But if you're just a few, you will be taken out. I'll tell you another story. Samira Musa, 1917. She was born in 1917. She died on August 5th, 1951, at the age of 34. At 18, she wrote the book Modern Algebra. 18 years old. She was a nuclear scientist, invited to Berkeley, offered the US citizenship, which she declined. She went back to Egypt. One day she received an invitation and she was going there. Her driver jumped off the car and the car landed in a cliff. She died. Could have been an accident, but later they found out that the invitation was fake. So if just few of you excel, you will be taken out. Because if IDF can take out 40,000 of your women and children and rape 15,000 of your women, they'll take you out if you are recognized in the world of algebra or science or anything. They can. So my message remains, remain calm, because nobody can stop you from voting. That day, you will walk to the booth and vote, and that is your power. And that is the same power that will eventually reach all the 50 Islamic countries. Because sooner or later, the power of people will make changes in their governments. Either the governments will stop surrendering their power, their honor to the whims of the West, or whoever those people are who are exercising their power to not make sure that the governments of those countries do not display what the population wants. The populations are angry. They're hurting. And not one Islamic country is saying anything about what's happening in Gaza. Not one. Because they have to save their seats. They have to save their kingdoms. They have to save their 24-karat gold cars and the palaces that they own. Their lifestyle needs to be saved, which cannot be saved in a democracy. But someday, the power of God will help you in changing that. Someday, God will choose a side, the righteous side, and you want to be on that righteous side. There is a decrease of moral values. We see that even in the United States. The first word, Donald J. Trump is being subjected to a false trial so that he cannot participate in the elections. Let him get sentenced. It's a mock trial. Yesterday, there was a witness of a person. I'm ashamed to even call her a person, personally. Her name is Stormy Daniels. She ran a complete campaign called Let's Make America Horny Again. That's what we have become. This woman, in her greed, has gone after Donald J. Trump. She admits she did it and she is doing it just to make money, sell her story. This campaign of hers ran over both the networks, CNN and Fox, for hours and hours. Let's make America horny again. That used to be one of her campaigns. This is a country which 100 years back, if you watch Gone with the Wind, Red Butler, Scarlett O'Hara, you will see the values this country had. There were chaperones. People got married and had kids. They didn't have kids and then decide after 10 years if they want to get married. Certain words have disappeared or have no meaning in the dictionary anymore. I remember watching a movie of James Stewart. He was a great actor. It was called Shenandoah. In that scene, a captain came to the father and asked his permission to see his daughter. Permission was granted, and they were walking outside on the fields. And the younger son came to James Stewart, the father, and said, "Dad, why is my daughter walking with that guy?" A young kid, 8, 9-year-old. And the father said, "Son, the corn is ripe and the pickers are here." That's what we left behind. Now we have Let's Make America Horny Again. Stormy Daniels, star on TV, main projection on CNN and Fox Network for 5 hours. In the 60s, there used to be entertaining programs like Dennis the Menace, Lucille, Lucy, I Love Lucy, The Invisible Man, Rin Tin Tin. They're obsolete. Man, I wish we had remained obsolete. How am I supposed to watch with my 8-year-old granddaughter TV and she asked me, "Grandpa, what do they mean by Let's Make America Horny Again?" What am I supposed to answer back? Where are the values? All I can do is maybe request these two main networks not to project these kind of sentences, even if they sell. It shouldn't be all about advertisements and money. We should be leaving something behind. All of us, Muslims, Jews, Christians, black, brown, yellow, white, values. Not just the value that you get at Walmart, buy one, get one free. Values, life values, true values.